Farmer's Life is a game that surprised me again and again. I bought it to review for this channel because based on the marketing, I thought it would be a funny alcoholic farming simulator set in the Soviet Union.
Welcome to Zalesha. Lots of vodka, drunken pranks.
I was expecting something along the lines of Hobo Tough Life or the original drug dealer simulator where the gameplay wasn't super polished but the concept was original and the humor would sort of fill in the blanks. Then I started playing the game and it was just so bleak and depressing I could not believe it. You start out as an alcoholic 30-year-old who has lost his entire family while he was away fighting in World War II. Your only friend is your pig, Fluffy, who is really pretty annoying through the tutorial, constantly squealing at you to do stuff. I also almost quit this game because your character mumbles this horrible sound for all their dialogue, which was driving me crazy, but thankfully I was able to turn that off. After spending the tutorial pawning your horse and most of your cool farm equipment for vodka money, your first big mission is to defeat alcoholism, and then the game finally starts to get good. While I expected this game to be funny, what I did not expect was a deeply satisfying farming simulator. It's not trying to be farming simulator, but it strikes a good balance of depth and fun. Also, the era of the post-war Soviet Union is pretty interesting, with horse farming and mechanized farming existing side by side. For anyone with a self-sufficient homestead fantasy, but you don't actually want to smell the manure or hurt your back lugging firewood, this is probably the closest I've ever gotten to that feeling in a video game. At first I found it very hard to make money, doing everything by hand with tools that would constantly break, and building up my small flock of animals, but after saving up for a horse and plow, I realized this game, like real farming, was all about scale. You aren't actually limited by your starting homestead. Almost the entire valley can be purchased, cleared, farmed, then boiled down into a profitable moonshine. Just be ready to cut tons of planks and firewood. This game is for the grinders.
Please, sir, hit that subscribe button so I may have a little more dopamine.
Lots of the usual farming simulator elements are also included, like befriending locals by doing missions for them, hunting, fishing, cooking, and building. It also has what I, as a Slavic person, am allowed to call weird Eastern European elements, like drunkenly riding animals for extra speed, fishing with war surplus hand grenades, scrounging wrecked tank hulls and bunkers for makeshift tractor repairs, and trying not to walk into a minefield while drunk on vodka in a blizzard. In addition to your loyal pig, you can also get married, and depending on who you pick, they'll help out around the farm in different ways, but there's lots of requirements, and at this point I was still too much of a poor loser to get a girlfriend. I don't want to give this game a star rating because it's not perfect yet. The menus and some aspects are very janky and the developers acknowledge and are working on that, but this game just has that magic where you spend all winter turning your harvest into moonshine and then you invest in your first big boy horse and plow and you can't wait to spend 2 more seasons sowing your first way bigger field and you look around and it's glorious and suddenly it's 4 in the morning. That happened to me a few times, so in lieu of a star rating, I'm officially giving this game my 4 a.m. life ruiner seal of approval. At the time of this review, I'm only about 35 hours in, but I'm looking forward to buying up all the nearby fields, trying to find a spouse who can automate my animals, and exploring other mid and late game elements like motorized farm machinery and large-scale government contracts. Also, it's my 2nd month here on YouTube, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, maybe like, subscribe to the channel, or check out some of my other funny gaming content.